So, hello everybody. Welcome to some of you back again here. I'm going to talk about the call in governance. Governance is also one of the calls in Societal Challenge 6, the Inclusive, Innovative, and Reflective Societies. And I'm going to present the governance of 5 and 12, which are ICT-related topics managed by DG Connect, and where ICT has a key role in the topic. So about the transformation of the public sector as a bit of a background. So some years ago, the Commission presented a vision paper where it was already indicated that government would move from a silos approach to a modular approach. So breaking down the services in modules which can be shared between public administrations across member states, and where also the stakeholders can play a role in. So the aim is an open, innovative, and collaborative government. And when we talk about openness, it means open services. So services which are modular, which can be extended, which can be enhanced, and open processes. So for the sake of transparency and accountability, it's good that processes are open and known, and also open data, so that data is available to be shared, and this can increase the efficiency, the effectiveness of certain services. So in the end, we talk about the joined-up government, bringing these several aspects together. To elaborate a little bit on the context, you will always already have seen the eGovernment Action Plan 2016-2020 with its 3 pillars, where the first pillar is dealing with modernizing the governance, in particular this breakdown in modules, then the cross-border aspects and the engagement aspects, so engage the citizens. And then we have the Tallinn Ministerial Declaration, which was in October 2017, which confirmed in certain aspects the commitment of the governments to proceed with some implementations of principles. So we have the digital by default, inclusiveness, accessibility, the once only principle, so to reduce the burden for the citizen to submit to public administrations always the same documents, the same information. So once you have provided, the government between them should share the information, even cross-border. Trustworthiness, security, openness and transparency, and interoperability by default. So the further use of deployment of the self-building blocks are here a topic of the discussion. And there are a lot of horizontal enabling policy steps dealing with skills, etc. There is an annex in this Tallinn Declaration which is explaining the user centricity principles for design and delivery of digital public services. So as mentioned here, more need to be done, and so that's why we still continue in Horizon 2020 with research and innovation. Here a short explanation about the annex in the Tallinn Ministerial Declaration on user centricity. So what do we mean by this? Digital interaction should be possible, it should be easy to understand, this once only principle, and citizens should be engaged in the creation of public services. So these are the guidelines which should be taken into account when developing new services within the public administration. So to the governance call in Horizon 2020 is a call which was already done 2018, now 2019, and will be continued in 2020. The overall aim of the governance call is to address the very foundations of governance and democracy. and supporting the collection of evidence and development of policy options in key constitutional areas. So we have here to address, for example, populism, polarization, radicalization. These are all items which are of increasing importance, and to address global governance and violent extremism. So we have in this environment, or in this list of targets, we have one specific for ICT, and this I will start with the governance of 5 new forms of delivering public goods and inclusive public services. So here we start within the context of open governments, open services, processes, open data, and the more specific contexts or challenges are here: involvement of citizens and other actors, open collaboration and innovation platforms, and we call this government as a platform. We have also the open environment and ecosystem of modular services, so government as a service. We have the European Interoperability Framework implementation strategy. So these are items which define the context of where we are in the redefinition or the reorganization of public administration. The Government Action Plan, Tallinn Declaration, I already talked about this. And so we are aiming at regrouping resources under common infrastructures at European level and enable participation of all relevant communities. So co-creation, participation is a major issue. Now, for the scope of proposals within Governance 05, it's a RIA, sorry, to develop and demonstrate the potential sharing of common services with different actors. In this environment, the role of the public authorities shall be reconsidered. Other actors can play a role in this new governance model. Important is to take into account the benefits of the once-only principle and the digital by default, user centricity, and the transformative impact of new technologies. Sorry. Participation of minimum 6 relevant national sorry. It's a bit dry. Sorry for that. So participation of minimum 6 relevant national administrations in at least 6 different member states or associated states. I'm losing my voice. Many thanks. So multidisciplinarity and multi-sectoral teams should be involved, and sustainability of the solution produced should also be addressed. So business plans or implementation plans. Expected impact, so solutions for opening up and connecting public administration data and services. Measurable impact for business and citizens. All elements provided to facilitate the migration of public administration towards these new models of co-delivery. Evidence of how the open government approach may reinforce trust in public institutions, in particular by the co-creation, the participation, trust from the citizens in government should be increased or improved, and contribution to establishing a culture of co-creation and co-delivery, transparency, accountability, trustworthiness. So the principles of the Tallinn Declaration, of the eGovernment Action Plan, the implementation of all this should lead to this realization of these principles and the transformation of the public administration. But so important here is this once-only principle. 6 national administrations mandatory, and transformative technologies such as blockchain. A second item in the governance call is the number 12, the pilot on using the cloud infrastructure for public administrations. So here, what we would like to see is innovative means and tools are needed by the public administration to develop better evidence-based policies. Because the society has become so complex, these new tools, new methodologies are needed. And local actors like citizens and businesses should be involved, so also the co-creation or participation aspect. There should be a higher level of acceptance then of policies and trust in authorities, and data analytics and usage of the cloud to gain access to shared data is here an important issue. So to improve the policy making at all levels by the opportunities the cloud computing is offering. So you will have high performance computing, data storage, you will have data analytic tools, and you will have access to data. So the scope of the proposal should be to develop new ways and methods of using the cloud infrastructure by public administration, and this in order of the modeling of the policy making, policy implementation. Create reusable models, allowing better development of management of policies. Demonstrate interoperability, reusability, or scalability at European level of the models and the analytical tools. Address long-term sustainability by business plans or implementation plans, and ensure the take-up of the results. Consider legal and security aspects. So by using the cloud, there are some aspects which should be taken into account. There are the ethical aspects, and how to involve communities in co-creation of data management and analysis. And last but not least, involve again multidisciplinary and multisectoral teams to be sure that you can address all aspects which are relevant for the pilot. Expected impact, availability of analytical tools, better target and more effective evidence-based policies, citizens and businesses more engaged in the co-creation of the tools, and enhance trust and boost perceived legitimacy of authorities. So far to this topic, again the usual links for further information, and the floor is open for questions.
Thank you very much. My question is, maybe you said it and I wasn't yet in the room, whether this is, do you matter about the level of the administration? So is this on a city level or on a state level or on a national level? Or doesn't it matter?
So for the governance 05 topic, it should be national level. At least 6 participants on national level. In addition, there could be others on regional level or urban level, but 6 is the minimum at national level. For the other topic on the cloud, it's not defined. You can.
But that would mean that ministries, for example, or agencies that work for ministries should be partners in the consortium?
Yes. Any other questions?
Is this the European cloud infrastructure, is it a requirement for DT12?
Sorry, didn't catch the question.
The European cloud infrastructure,
Yeah.
is this a primary requirement for a proposal in the second call?
Yeah, so the 12, governance 12 is explicitly dealing with the cloud. So the European cloud, which is an European science cloud, which will be opened for public administration as well.
And that cloud is a requirement for that those proposals.
This is a requirement to link with or to use, to propose the use of this cloud. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
One question to Governance 12, Robert Wedge, BOC. You mentioned use of cloud for policy making. So is it explicitly focused on policy making and using the cloud, or is it also other tasks of these administrations using cloud?
So policy making, policy implementation, so that means services.
Okay, so the full life cycle.
The set of tasks of public administration, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions?
Could you please elaborate a little bit about the European cloud infrastructure? Are you referring to a specific organization or initiative?
This is a specific initiative, infrastructure, which was communicated by the European Commission and which is now in a status that can be operating. And you find the link in the work program, so where you find the contact points to these people governing this infrastructure.
Meaning that they need to be partners in the consortium?
They don't need to be partners, but you have to show that you have to link to them, that you're going to use their services. Any further questions? Okay, if this is not the case, we can close here. You have early lunch.